Things are hotting up here in the summer of Japan. And in regards to the collectible space, there has been a few comments and a few signals that there is going to be a big crackdown. The Japanese government has been talking about setting up a de facto department of the government looking at collectibles and how to regulate them. And one of the interesting comments that came out was one of the panel's sons is a Pokemon collector. Now that might not mean anything to the West, but here in Japan, that means we are trying to make ourselves look balanced. However, that's far from the truth, in my opinion. Therefore, I feel what we will see is where they're talking about resellers and scalpers and so on and so forth. For example, if you go to a store and you buy 3 magazines here, you go to another store, you buy 3 magazines there, you go to another store, you buy 6, you got 12 magazines with promos in. You are now in trouble as a reseller. That seems to be the nuance that they're working towards. However, if you're in a car going around and picking up 30 from each convenience store and you have a car filled with 400 magazines, okay, I can see that there's a problem there. But if you regulate every single person who buys more than one copy, that means something that comes out in Japan will not be available on the secondary market at all, except for people with a license who can buy in bulk and resell with a license. And you're saying, well, that makes no sense. But then they're regulated and they pay the tax and the government takes their chunk. That means anybody who doesn't live in Japan who wanted to buy something will have no secondary options. It will be only retail and then Japanese ID, face recognition, be in Japan, or buy through the massive resellers, which will leave you with an option of something 20x, but the government won't care because they'll take their 20%, 25% of taxes on that 20% resale price. So this is all my opinion, but I've seen this happen. We've seen this with Uber. No taxis here. Only stay with the licensed companies and then they pay through the nose. No deregulation. Everything is fixed in, locked in. Same with house, hotel rentals, Airbnb. Allowed to come in, then get regulated the shit out of, making it so impossible that they can't do it. So then the hotels can push the prices up. Anyone who's stayed in Tokyo recently will tell you that the hotels are not cheap. Japan, in my opinion, does not like the individual person to make money unless they can regulate the hell out of it and take their cut. You might say, well, that happens everywhere. Not as much as here. Not as much as here at all. And until now, the card industry has not been regulated. But once it does, once it is, we'll have everybody who's not living in Japan crying about, oh my God, why is it so expensive right now? Why is this so crazy right now? Because the people who've been given the green light and given the pass to play are going to charge you through the nose because you have nowhere else to go. Nothing to buy on Mercari, nothing to buy on Yahoo, eBay, Japan. Nothing, whatever, it won't be there. So be very careful what you wish for. It's going to be very, very interesting times. And like I said, just my personal opinions, but I've been here 22 years. I've seen how these things play out. Many years of experience seeing how Japan likes to regulate the hell out of everything. So once they get their teeth into this is going to be downhill, in my opinion. So what should we do? Maybe I'll get a license. Maybe I won't. Anyway, thanks for listening from my rant from Tokyo. And remember what I said. because if you go back to my old videos, most of what I said has panned out. So listen to Han in the park because he knows what he's talking about.